Stop spreading used coffee grounds over every plant in your garden. Some of them are quietly declining because of it. There are 3 things to understand. First, the chemical reason used coffee grounds are nearly pH neutral, which is the opposite of what most online advice claims. Second, the 5 plants that actually benefit from them. Third, the 3 popular plants they slowly harm. Oregon State University. Extension tested used coffee grounds straight from a coffee maker. The pH came back between 6.5 and 6.8. That is close to neutral, not acidic. A grandmother learned this the hard way. She added used grounds to her lavender bed every spring for years and noticed it gradually thinning. It was not her gardening skills, it was chemistry. The key explanation starts with eggshells. The truth is simple. First, used coffee grounds are nearly neutral. Second, eggshells work differently depending on soil chemistry. The problem is not these ingredients. They can be useful. The problem arises from applying them without understanding the chemistry. There are 2 simple rules. Rule 1, squeezing a lemon into water transfers the acid to the water, leaving the rind nearly neutral. Used coffee grounds act the same way. The acid has gone into your cup, leaving the grounds mostly neutral. This is why used grounds do not reliably lower soil pH for acid-loving plants. Rule 2, eggshells are made of calcium carbonate. Pour vinegar on chalk and it fizzes as the calcium dissolves. Pour plain water on the same chalk and nothing happens. Soil works the same way. Eggshells affect pH only under certain conditions. Soil with a pH of 5 is acidic enough to dissolve eggshell calcium and make it available to roots. Above that, eggshells remain in the soil without much effect. That is the only range where they actually function. This season, one more correction before we list the plants. Most sources say coffee grounds tie up nitrogen for 2 to 3 weeks. A 2025 study in the Soil Science Society of America journal measured closer to 100 days. That means grounds applied now can lock nitrogen well into fall. Plan for the long term, not a quick fix. This matters because 3 plants on the list need well-drained, relatively poor soil. Extra moisture and slow nitrogen release create a subtle problem. The other 5 plants have exactly the opposite requirement. That is the chemistry match, the adjustment to what the plant naturally prefers in soil. The first 3 plants appear in many home gardens. One of them may be in yours. Following standard advice could be harming them unknowingly. Plant 1. Carrots and other root crops face 2 linked issues. Eggshell fragments in loose soil form physical barriers. A carrot taproot growing straight down can hit a hard shell piece and fork around it, producing split or branched roots. The second problem? Coffee grounds, compact when dry, forming a fine crust that blocks air and water from reaching the roots. Washington State University Extension specifically warns that this slows root crop growth. Keep both eggshells and coffee grounds out of root crop beds. Compost them first. Plant 2, lavender, and by extension, rosemary, thyme, and oregano. These Mediterranean herbs evolved on thin, rocky alkaline soil with almost no organic matter. They do not need extra nitrogen or moisture. Coffee grounds deliver both, which can harm them. The rule is simple. If a plant evolved in poor, dry soil, skip both. But remember, there are 5 plants where this combination works like a $15 fertilizer bottle. Plant 1 of those is likely in your garden right now. Tomatoes. Eggshells are 95 to 97% calcium carbonate. Tomatoes need calcium to prevent blossom end rot, the soft black patch on the bottom of fruit. Calcium strengthens cell walls during rapid fruit development. A shortage causes cells at the growing tip to collapse. A bottle of CalMag supplement costs $8 to $12 at a garden center. Crushed eggshells deliver the same calcium for essentially $0 per plant, only if soil pH is below 6. Michigan State. Extension notes that blossom end rot in tomatoes often starts with uneven watering. Fix irrigation first before worrying about calcium. Eggshells are a backup, not the main solution. Coffee grounds also benefit tomatoes by improving soil structure in sandy or clay-heavy soils and support leafy growth through slow nitrogen release. The practical dose is 2 tablespoons of crushed eggshell powder and 1 small handful of used grounds per planting hole mixed into the top 2 to 3 inches of soil. Plant 2, peppers, follow the same calcium pathway as tomatoes, and share the same risk of blossom end rot during rapid fruit set. Coffee grounds again help by improving soil structure and supplying slow nitrogen for leaf growth. Apply the same way, crushed eggshell powder and used grounds mixed into the planting hole, not piled on the surface. Plant 3, roses. A 2024 study in the Polish Journal of Environmental Studies found coffee grounds had the largest impact on soil microbial abundance in rose beds compared to other tested organic amendments. More microbes. Improve nutrient cycling, and create healthier root environments. The evidence is for microbial activity, not directly for bloom count, but healthier soil tends to support healthier plants. Plant 4, blueberries. Many videos claim coffee grounds maintain the ideal pH of 4.5 to 5.5. University of Maryland Extension reviewed this in 2025. Used grounds will not lower soil pH enough to benefit blueberries. Grounds running at pH 6.5 to 6.8 cannot acidify soil. They do provide organic matter and slow nitrogen, which are useful. Plant 5, hydrangeas. They are unique among common garden plants for changing flower color to blue through soil chemistry. Blue flowers need aluminum ions dissolved in soil, which only happens when pH drops below 5.5. Above that, aluminum locks up and flowers trend toward pink. Used coffee grounds at pH 6.5 to 6.8 will not reliably turn hydrangeas blue. Fresh unbrewed grounds around pH 4.5, used consistently with aluminum sulfate, are required for a reliable color shift. Used grounds alone add organic matter and support overall soil health, but cannot replace aluminum sulfate. One bonus myth: eggshells as slug deterrents. The Royal Horticultural Society ran a 6-week test with eggshells, copper tape, sharp grit, pine bark, and wool pellets. None prevented slugs, which crossed broken glass with ease. Save eggshells for soil use where they actually help. Safety note: coffee grounds contain caffeine, which can harm dogs and cats in large amounts according to ASPCA Animal Poison Control. Always mix used grounds into soil rather than leaving a pile on the surface. If a pet consumes a large quantity, call ASPCA at 888-424435. After 10 years of advice to sprinkle both on everything, chemistry tells a different story. Used coffee grounds at pH 6.5 to 6.8 are beneficial for organic matter, soil structure, and slow nitrogen release. They retain moisture, helping some plants, but harming others. Eggshells provide calcium only when soil pH is below 6.5. In neutral or alkaline soil, they remain dormant unless powdered. 3 plants do not want either: carrots and root crops, lavender and Mediterranean herbs, and succulents or cacti. 5 plants respond well when applied correctly: tomatoes, peppers, roses, blueberries with the right pH, and hydrangeas with the proper acidification program. A subscriber who had poured grounds on her lavender for 3 years moved them to her tomato bed last season. For the first time in 4 years, there was 0 blossom end rot. She did not buy anything new. She matched the right amendment to the right plant. Checklist: crush eggshells to powder for 30 seconds in a mortar. Whole shells take years to release calcium. Match to the plant: tomatoes, peppers, and roses get 2 tablespoons of crushed powder plus 1 small handful of used grounds mixed into the top 2 to 3 inches of soil. Lavender, succulents, and carrots are skipped entirely. Do not pile grounds on the surface. Maximum ½ inch as mulch per Washington State University extension. Thick layers form a crust, so mix it in instead. You can keep buying $15 bottles of CalMag every season or spend 10 minutes crushing eggshells already in your kitchen. Match the amendment to the plant for less work and more harvest.